This is exclusive updates, and I've discussed before with you all about how words can be used to control people, and the meaning of words can be used in ways to, you know, manipulate and alter people's behavior. Words like the word weak. Weak is the word that's opposite of strong. So you see how words like that can enter your consciousness and be used against you. So with words, there's tons of words like that where, you say good morning. Morning means, like you just lost somebody, so I try to avoid saying morning actually. And, goodbye. I'm like, okay, I'll just rather say see you later. If you're saying, instead of saying goodbye to a loved one, that's so final. I'd rather say see you later. So there's all types of words in the English language that you need to be aware of. I even discussed one time about amen. So at the end of a prayer, people say amen. And then I looked further into the word amen, and it's unclear. Is this saying that this word is from the Egyptian god Amen-Ra? What's the chances of that word being so similar? Or is it its own standalone word where it's just meaning how they're telling us it just means I agree? Well, then why don't we just say I agree then, But sometimes I just say so be it. I don't know. I'm not always comfortable saying amen at the end of a prayer just because it's kind of like a gray area there. And I've had the discussion with you all before, and I haven't heard too many other people talking about that. So it's one of those things you almost are left alone to your own thoughts on, and it's your own, it becomes your own personal decision, if you feel comfortable using that word. So now I came across this discussion with this woman that's saying how North Korea had removed any idea of the word freedom from their language. There's no actual word for the word freedom in their culture.
I did not know, because in North Korea, a lot of words like we have here, they don't exist. Like the word freedom or human rights, they don't have it. Because if you know the word, you understand the concept. So in order to control your thinking, governments have to control the language and words, right? So they eliminate this kind of words in our dictionary.
And so, I don't know, what do you guys think about this? I mean, that's very interesting what she's saying, as far as she's saying North Korea actually has no word for the word freedom. So they just don't want to have that idea or concept in the people's mind, the idea of freedom that makes them, willing to just obey all orders. When people wear a mask, it seems like, that country I would expect would be the first ones to go along with something like that. I was surprised how many people in America went along with that, where, they were trying to make people do these things because they said some invisible thing was going around that we need to be afraid of, and we weren't allowed to talk about it. To this day, I'm still kind of not willing to discuss this too much about, the 2019 and 2020 when they had lockdowns and stuff over the mandates. And, so I don't even, you notice right now, I'm not even saying, the word that, it was basically a cold going around, I guess. I'll put it like that, supposedly, or I should say allegedly. But I mean, I would expect it, people to be more resistant to that. But, in China, I wouldn't have been surprised. To me, they were already kind of wearing masks and, walking around with masks before that even happened. So I was like, yeah, of course, in that country, and isn't that where they said it came from, So, and like I said, before that even came to be where they were trying to make everyone afraid of that, I saw people in China wearing masks all the time. So I was like, okay, that's the behavior I actually wouldn't be surprised of in China. It seems like people out there would be more willing to be obedient to stuff, and not really like Americans, where we would, we're usually supposed to protest stuff like that. But slowly they're getting people to just go along with the system, I think, through the media and stuff. But, if they don't have the word freedom, then of course, they would be the ones to be obedient when they're saying, hey, roll up your sleeve, you know, or put this mask on. You would expect them to just go along with it just because, you know, if they don't have the word or the concept of freedom, that's absent from their mind. It's a word they completely removed from their vocabulary. And that's pretty significant. You know, it's like, wow. So I need someone to confirm this. I'm going to ask my chat. Well, I don't have Chat GPT. I just use the one on my phone. I have an Android, so it's like Gemini. It's a pretty good program actually for AI. I find myself using it here and there, and it seems to be, you know, it's something that you can actually ask stuff like this. So I'll ask it after this. Maybe you guys do the same, because I want to have this discussion. Like, if anyone knows anything about this, is this accurate information? Does North Korea's language really not have the word freedom in their vocabulary? That is something else. Now you see how governments can use words to control us by making us not even have the concept of some, you know, some words and some ideas. It's like an idea. And, you know, things start with words, and we discuss deeper discussions about how words bring forth manifestations, you know. And I have a manifestation playlist. I'll leave the link in the comment section. It's called The Path to Success. You can check it out by becoming a member. I'm gonna add more to the to that playlist as we get more members in. So right now there's like 3 or 4 videos that are very in depth, but we discuss how words can bring forth manifestations, and how important words are. They can bring forth reality, and ideas actually can bring forth things too. So when you don't have the vocabulary though to even think or conceive of the idea or the word, then that, you see how that could stop your whole thing. Like, if there are certain words, think about that. If certain words end up getting removed from the English language and they act like they never existed, that could really change the future, because people wouldn't have these ideas or concepts in their minds in the first place to even think about, you know, freedom, or there's other examples you could use, you know, if they were to remove other words, you know. So you know, and then with They Live movie, it was like obey, you know. It was like they had the glasses on, and then these billboards were saying things like obey and you know, follow your orders and stuff like that, you know, like subliminal messages like that. So yeah, it's very important though, words and manifestations, and, you know, things start from the concept of ideas, and they become things. Like you think of a building plan in your mind, and then you draw it out, and then you make a blueprint, and then you get a construction company to put it together, and eventually that idea becomes an actual physical thing that you can live in. It could become a home, you know what I'm saying? And then, or a car, an idea for a car or fashion or anything, you know. Even if you're a music artist, an album, you know, it starts with your ideas and your thoughts in your head. So and then when we read the Bible, it says God spoke everything into existence. You know, let there be light, let there be water, you know, let there be anything. You know, the Bible went through a whole series of things where God was just speaking things into existence. Let there be life, you know. All this stuff was just coming from, you know, words and ideas and thoughts. So words are very powerful, and they know that. And, you know, I found that interesting how this woman was saying where she came from was removing words to control people. So I thought I'd share that with you all. Like I said, check out my Path to Success playlist. I think it's only like $2 to join, $2 or $3 to join for that tier, for the Path to Success tier. I have other videos you can watch for like $1 if you join my members section. So yeah, let's get over 100 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe. Check all the links in the description box. And that's about it. Follow me on social media and all that. I'm out.